Good evening and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Venezuela. Venezuela's Attorney General on Monday announced the arrest of a regional campaign leader for opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, citing alleged conspiracy among other crimes. Attorney General Tariq William Saab accused Emil Brandt of taking part in violent demonstrations against the government in January, adding he will be prosecuted in an anti-terrorism court in Caracas. Venezuela will hold its next presidential election on July 28, though uncertainty remains over who will be the opposition's coalition's candidate, since the country's top court upheld a ban for Machado to return earlier this year. Machado has said her ban was contrived by President Nicolas Maduro's government to protect him from a viable challenger. In January, 3 regional leaders of Machado's team were arrested and linked to an alleged conspiracy against the government, according to information from the Attorney General's office. The Attorney General said at the time that they were part of a group of at least 11 people who allegedly tried to rob a military facility last year to then attack Freddy Bernal, the pro-government governor which borders Colombia. We continue with news from Venezuela. Iran and Venezuela are trying to patch together an oil alliance that began to fray last year, according to 6 people familiar with the matter, after the South American country fell behind on oil swamps that had boosted crude exports and helped stem domestic fuel shortages. The expected April return of U.S. sanctions on Venezuelan oil industry will make the Iran alliance critical to keeping its lagging energy sector afloat. Washington last year temporarily relaxed sanctions on Venezuela's promise to allow competitive presidential election, something that has not happened. To salvage the partnership, Venezuela is rushing to fulfill terms of a 3-year-old alliance that has involved hundreds of millions of dollars in oil swamps and contracts. The nation is trying to settle pending debt by accelerating deliveries of heavy crude and fuel cargoes to Iran. Venezuela also is striving to renegotiate dozens of unfinished projects from agriculture to car manufacturing before Iranian president visits Caracas in the coming months. And now for international news. Ukraine pounded targets in Russia on Tuesday with dozens of drones and rockets in an attack that inflicted serious damage on a major oil refinery and sought to pierce the land borders of the world's biggest nuclear power with armed proxies. Russia and Ukraine have both used drones to strike critical infrastructure, military installations, and troop concentrations in their more than 2-year war, with Kyiv hitting Russian refineries and energy facilities in recent months. Russia said Ukrainian proxies had sought to cross the Russian border in at least 7 attacks that Russian force had compelled. The Russian-speaking Ukrainian proxies said they had breached the border, a claim denied by Russia. Russia said its forces prevented intrusions from Ukraine and inflicted heavy losses on the attackers, after Ukraine-based armed groups said they had launched cross-border raids. I am KERESE Gonzalez. Thank you for watching.